Sawadee-ka. So early December, Chiang Mai. This is one of the secondary exits to Chiang Mai University, coming in from Chom Doi area. Actually, Chom Doi is one of the unofficial names of the main campus, and it's basically the name of this neighborhood, the village. There's a couple of other smaller villages right on the campus, but locals sometimes refer to it as Chom Doi. The Chiang Mai University campus, the main one, a lot of these trees are the original trees from the forest, like these ones could be original trees. There was a branch that I used to hit with my head all the time. Thankfully it's been cut off. And until the 60s this whole place was a forest. So, a science laboratory. So a lot of the buildings here, the original ones, date back to early 70s. Yeah, this must have been damaged by the typhoon, by the storm. The largest university in northern Thailand. People come to study here from all over Thailand, from all over the region. So tuition wise it's fairly cheap. Quality, well, I can't attest it, but we can't go too wrong with the largest university in northern Thailand. This is one of our former prime ministers. He's an alumna Yingluck Shinawatra. So it can't be that bad. As I said, I'm coming in not from the main exit, from Waikau Road, which is over there somewhere. Coming in from the Chom Doi area. It's one of these little villages still on the territory of the campus, Phai Lom. And this side of the campus is kind of associated with the medical faculty. The health center is over there, and Sutep is over there and that way. And along the Sutep Road in Suan Dok, there's a whole bunch of other medical facilities associated with the university. So it's quite known for it. I think it's possibly maybe not the largest hospital in Chiang Mai, but one of the largest. Definitely the largest university hospital in Chiang Mai, Suan Dok Hospital. So CMU Health Center. This is for the students, not so much the teaching hospital. Doi Sutep is over there. So as I said, it's quite green. All of this used to be forest. And Doi Sutep used to be kind of a sacred place, not allowed to go. Electrical transport on the campus. Buses are electrical, some of the trucks are electrical. Most students won't get around by motorbike, scooter. There's thousands of them on the campus. So these buildings here must be dorms. These are pretty old, they go way back to 70s, I think. But I think by now most students live off campus in the nearby Chamdoi, Suthep areas. There's a bunch of large condos in Suthep, specifically designed to cater to the students. Condos and single owner rental buildings. Oh, the dorms. Suthep. Oh, they even have two lines, green line, brown line. See, some of the buses are open, some are closed, presumably aircon. I'm just wandering around. Maybe I'll do a walk to Doi Suthep. Maybe I won't. Well, there are these information desks, but I've never seen anyone manning them. Never. There's a clock. I like the campus. It's shaded. Even in the heat of the summer, it's quite bearable here. Doesn't get too hot because of the mountain and the shade from the trees. So the urban heat island effect isn't really much of a thing here. Heat is dissipated properly thanks to the vegetation. That's why it's very important to retain as much of the original greenery as possible. I like it here also because of the food options. Food is pretty good and affordable. Prices are student oriented, budget friendly. If you are too late, like after 6 o'clock, the food center is closed. You can come down to Suthep Road, actually walking in that direction, and there's a night market there, so there's even more food options there. Suthep night market by the university. So these are possibly some of the engineering faculty, or maybe physical education faculty. They just built a new stadium right here, not far. And of course there is a 7-Eleven and student services center. It's quite convenient. There's one here, there's one over there as well. So this is the rather famous clock, the central clock of the campus in Keelang Road, I think. And overall I must say, it's a Seiko clock. Overall I must say the overall design of the campus, how it blends with the natural environment, with the forest and the mountain, some of the like 60s, 70s architecture. All in all, it really reminds me of the Japanese university campuses, especially the one in Sapporo, University in Hokkaido. Yeah. What I like about this clock is you can read the dial from all sides. It's got 4 dials. Look at that. So aside from the scooters, the next best way is this AnyWheel, Singaporean company, shared bike. I have their app, works quite well. The only problem with the app or the system is that in the city there's not enough parking spots, but on the campus that's not an issue. There's always these designated spots for any wheel. They're quite convenient, and quality isn't too bad. They're not as good, as convenient as the U-bikes in Taipei or similar ones in Japan, but still way better than a lot of other companies. At least the bikes themselves are quite sturdy. Yeah. By the way, there's a vending machine at the bus stop. Yeah. So the whole portion from here to Suthep Road is the engineering faculty. And adjacent to it is also a mining, I think, faculty. Although not a whole lot of mining is happening here these days. But there might be some in the future, who knows. There's some mineral resources in the region, including some oil and gas and potentially some rare minerals. These are some original blocks from the 60s, probably. And this must be something newer. They also look quite old. These are new ones. So yeah, it's not as hot as in the city. It's cooler than the old town, way cooler than Santita. Once again, because of the big mountain with Suthep. I think it's a beautiful and interesting campus. It's nice to hang around here. And it's very good for jogging at night. There's a couple of interesting spots. Some of the original forest trees still remaining. Quite nice. This is the new food court, food center that was added in the recent years. I don't think it was on my first trip in 2018, was it? I don't remember seeing it then. What the heck? They added a Starbucks. I don't recall having a Starbucks here on campus. I do recall the main new food court, which is not this one. I think it's on the other side. Yeah. So that's the main part of the food court. So CMU is becoming a fancy place, an expensive place. They now have a Starbucks, but this is the cheaper part of the food court. can get your pseudo-Japanese, pseudo-Korean, and original Thai Burmese food here. Okay, maybe let's go in. So the first floor is the local food options. Thai Burmese. It's quite cheap. Everything is like 30, 40, 50 baht. The second floor is kind of more international food. So another 7-Eleven here, Dairy Queen, ice cream. Chat Pamoe, that's a tea shop. Second floor is another coffee shop. And some international food options. I wouldn't rate them 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5, but they're good for the purpose. Kind of, as an example, 45 baht donburi. Yeah. Some spicy Chinese. But what I like to do mostly is just come here with my laptop and enjoy the outside. Just get a cup of coffee and can sit here in the kind of relatively mild background noise that is good for working, typing up some shit. Yeah, so it doesn't feel as boring or too quiet. And if you feel like spending more buck, well, there's a Starbucks for you there as well. So Chiang Mai University campus. Anyway, that was the food court. What else? Oh yeah, let's go to the reservoir. Can I walk from here? Yeah. This is my usual running kind of path for the evenings when I feel like doing a jog. There are a few places that are better than the CMU campus, in Chiang Mai at least. In the shadow of the sacred mountain, there's a step. So you basically start from over there in Chom Doi, run through the food center. Yeah, irrigation canal. The irrigation canal is coming in from the Angkau reservoir. We're gonna walk past the library, I think, and the student union shop, which will also stop by. Yeah, some library over there, and the student union shop. That one, I'm not too sure what it is. I think it's business and economics faculty. There's a whole bunch of other. But basically, when the university was founded, it was initially intended to support number one, the agricultural sector in the region, because it's a heavily agricultural region. Number two, to support the healthcare in the region as well. So that's 60s and 70s. And that's when the Thai government really got concerned about the spread of Maoism, communist ideas in the region. The Vietnam War was kind of raging right next door. Cambodia, Laos were on fire as well. So kind of having poor, undeveloped rural areas presented significant risks. So the government started pouring development funds into the countryside. For that, you need education centers in the regional centers. Yeah, you need doctors, teachers, all kinds of people. So, owing to that, we have this fairly developed campus right in the middle of Chiang Mai. Let's have a look at the co-op shop. I sometimes buy some goodies from there, but maybe not this time. So some of it is just a normal grocery store, convenience store. Getting the snacks that students enjoy. There's also a lot of stationery equipment, stationery stuff, also for students. Yeah. So that whole section seems gone now. They used to have a whole bunch of Chiang Mai University t-shirts here. T-shirts and polo shirts and stickers and labels and I think water bottles, all that paraphernalia merch is gone. But they do have some elephant pants. Let's have a look. Oh, that's cheap. This is like what market prices. Yeah, 2 or 3 times cheaper than Night Bazaar or the old town shops. So that's quite cheap. So that was the co-op shop. Let's get out of here before I bought something I don't need. And you can see it's the motorbike kingdom. Scooter and moped and light motorcycle of every denomination. This structure seems fairly new. I don't know what it is. I think something administrative or maybe having to do with the art faculty. There's a couple of actual historical buildings kind of brought over to the campus from other places. These are, but I don't see them around here. Those are the actual kind of wooden architecture, mixed colonial / Lana style houses. Let's have a look at these figures while we are at it. Let's have a look at these dinosaurs. That are Archaeopteryx, I don't know. There's definitely some velociraptors, iguanodon maybe. Yeah. Oh, okay. So basically, the velociraptors are. By the way, they're not properly depicted. Turned out velociraptors actually were feathered, and they had like plumage. But But basically they're ganging up on this poor iguanodon, seems like. Iguanodons were herbivores, kind of, I wouldn't say completely helpless, defenseless. They were quite large and powerful, but yeah, I think meeting a bunch of velociraptors wasn't a good day for an iguanodon. It feels so much cooler here than in the city. The trees are such a blessing. So I'm approaching the Ankao Reservoir. It's one of the most popular places, not just on the campus, but in Chiang Mai overall. It's one of the favorite places for graduations, convocations, weddings, birthdays, just weekend family outings. You'll see why. Oh, look at this little Mazda truck. This must be B 1200 or 1800. I think it's 1200. Small engine. Very well preserved. Beautiful. Maybe 1600. This is the wall of the Ankao Reservoir. So it's an artificial lake. Wow, there's a lot of water these days. It's also a popular doggy park. People come here with their pets. Don't see that many today, but usually there's a whole bunch of dogs running around. Like, yay! It's their favorite place. Usually I come here running. I run up this wall and all the way up to the crest. But since we are filming today, I'm just gonna walk like normal people. There's a bit of a pollution already in the air, so the more sensitive people are already becoming affected by it. Yeah. So this is where people come for their graduation photos, often for wedding photos. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ankao Reservoir. running around here. It's quite nice in the evening. And the sun goes just behind Doi Suthep. And actually, at this time of the day, you can see it's not a single like standalone mountain. You see that it has many slopes, many ridges. I just saw a splash. I'm not sure it's a carp, or it might be, I wonder, it might be something like an otter. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, just imagine studying down here, sitting with a book under a tree.
Yeah.
Vociferous kid. Of course, there's a university campus. There's always some Chinese families. It got pretty bad a few years ago. I thought there was even a talk of kind of banning tourists from entering the campus a few years ago. But gradually it kind of came back to normal. I think the initial waves of Chinese visitors, they have kind of mostly, I wouldn't say integrated, but became less visible. They found their ways around. So over there's actually another half of the reservoir on the other side, and that one is kind of dominated by the law faculty, law school. Yeah, this is the upper section of the reservoir where the water will accumulate from the rains, and it will be gradually discharged downstream over there. So there's some couple more like accumulators and discharges over there, and it flows slowly downstream that direction. Yeah, I think you could even do a little kind of run of the river hydroelectric plant, but very minuscule one, like in single kilowatts maybe. I don't know, maybe there's enough water. So that's the law school, Yankel Reservoir. Yeah. Look at this old house. All right, let's go back. There's a couple of really nice coffee shops around there somewhere. But yeah, it's too far. No, I'm not sure this is part of the campus. These buildings, I don't think they are. There's a lot of corners on the campus that actually kind of like private housing, remnants of the original villages. I should come for a run here sometime. Yeah, should come back for a run. Yeah, the evening streaming crowd. Okay. Come down the same way I came here. A few years ago, all the rage was Shiba Inus. Now it's like little French bulldogs. Looks like. Is that the fan? There's some other dogs as well. And corgis, of course. Corgis. So the most popular ones are the corgis, the little French bulldogs, and Shiba Inus. Kind of the general Asian trend. And that's the other side. The red handrails give it somewhat Japanese look as well. I don't know if the red handrails are native Thai thing or imported from China or Japan. That I don't know. I think back in the day in China and in Japan, it made practical utilitarian sense, because let's say if you are steering a boat on a river, on a narrow river, you gotta notice the bridge early enough so you can duck, because it might be quite low, or kind of remove anything that protrudes out of the dimensions of your boat so you can pass under the bridge. But since then, now it's just the visual decorative element. So down that way would be the exit to Huaykiao Road, to the main road, main exit. But I'm gonna exit the campus the same way I came here, through Chomdoi village. And I find it more convenient. There's less traffic there. And sometimes when I stay on some of my stays in Chiang Mai, I actually prefer to live there by Suthep, by Chomdoi, because it's so accessible. Yeah. So that's one of the good things about Chiang Mai. There's a lot of affordable places where you can live, be it Santita or even the old town isn't that expensive. Maybe Niman is becoming a bit pricey, but for the most part Chiang Mai is still quite budget friendly. Yeah. Maybe one of these days I should do a little video on the rental rates in Chiang Mai. There won't be any ads to go by because it's not as structured as in Japan. So it's basically kind of based on the experiences, observing the situation. But I'll probably do it when I have the more fitting footage. The more fitting footage walking the mean streets of Santitam, maybe. Yeah, there's always some new construction going on. It's either renovation or expansion on the campus. So they're always doing something. Evening traffic on the campus. It's actually way better than library. It's actually way better than in the city. If you are looking to learn how to ride a motorcycle safely, scooter, I think actually the campus might be one of the places. Why? Because the roads are in a better condition, the markings are more visible, and the curbs are kind of clearly delineated. There's all the proper traffic lights. So overall, it's a much better organized setting for safe riding. Because if you just got your license and all you had was 1 week riding at school, and then you're released into the streets of Chiang Mai, I think you will get into an accident almost immediately. Okay, maybe not immediately, but fairly soon. Yeah. Quite pretty little campus. Actually, it's not that little. It's not that small. It's quite sizable. Comparable in size, actually, to the whole of Old Town, if not bigger. We are back at the health center. It's like a little hospital for the students and the faculty. So this was it. The Chiang Mai University Suthep or Chomdoi campus. We didn't see all of it. We haven't seen all of it. Actually, we've just scratched the surface a little bit. We didn't see much of the engineering campus, which goes all the way to Suthep Road. We didn't see any of the sports facilities, which are huge. We haven't seen any of the medical faculty, which is mostly outside the main campus. It's at Swandok. We haven't seen any of the veterinary science faculty, which is kind of stretches south almost all the way to the airport. Yeah, so this is just a small fraction of the Chiang Mai University, the main campus, just where the arts, business and economics and law faculties are located. Yeah, already kind of near the exit. Okay, exiting through the same back door. That's it. The end. By the way, just walking back through Chomdoi village, and we are back in Yaman. So the university campus is like 5-10 minute walk from here. So, yeah, I think I could make it in under 5 minutes if I walk real fast, but 10 minutes for most people. It's the usual Yaman traffic madness in the evening. Yeah.